Canada plans to welcome 500,000 new permanent residents in 2025. Dry shampoos found to have cancer-causing agent. The Chechen Battalion fighting against Russian imperialism in Ukraine. Russia recruiting US-trained Afghan Commandos to fight in Ukraine. Eurozone inflation climbed to new record high of 10.7% in October. Greta Thunberg isn't going to COP27. Branson declined to attend death penalty debate in Singapore. Single-day shoppers say they may not spend so much.
Hello, I'm Wade Lee. Thank you for joining us on FUNDAY News. It is Wednesday, November 2nd, and here are your top stories. Canada's Immigration Minister, Sean Fraser, said on Tuesday that Canada plans to welcome a record 500,000 new permanent residents in 2025. The country has boosted its target over the next 2 years as Canada seeks solution to address an acute labor shortage. Canada now expects to welcome 465,000 new permanent residents in 2023, up 4% from a previous target, and 485,000 in 2024, up 7.5%. Fraser said in a statement, this year's immigration levels plans will help businesses find the workers they need.
Demographic trend, and if we're going to continue to reunite families and to do right by the world and make good on our commitments to support some of the world's most vulnerable. My view is that Canada is uniquely positioned in the world to use immigration to achieve these outcomes.
The media reported Canada is struggling with an acute shortage of workers, particularly in skilled trades and industries like healthcare. The most recent job vacancy data showed there were 558,500 open roles in Canada in August and 1 million unemployed people. The new targets will boost the number of economic immigrants by about 13% between 2023 and 2025. With steep increases in relatively small regional programs that help funnel people to provinces and regions outside major urban centers.
Bloomberg reported that a New Haven, Connecticut-based analytical laboratory, Valisure, tested 148 batches from 34 brands of spray-on dry shampoo and found that 70% contain benzene. The chemical can cause certain blood cancers such as leukemia. The company filed a petition Monday with the U.S. Food and Drug Administration seeking to have the product that contained the substance recalled. It said top-selling dry shampoo containing high levels of benzene led Unilever to pull its products from shelves in October.
Is voluntarily pulling 19 of the products from popular drugstore brands off the shelves because of a concern about a cancer-causing chemical.
The media reported that Unilever recently announced a voluntary recall of 19 popular dry shampoo aerosol products sold in the United States due to concerns about benzene. According to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, exposure to benzene, which is classified as a human carcinogen, can occur through inhalation, ingestion, or through skin contact, and can result in cancers, including leukemia and blood cancers. Unilever said the recalled products were produced before October 2021.
With the aim of weakening Moscow and the hope of reviving Ichkeria, the Zhotkardadeyov Battalion is confronting the Russian army in the Donbass under Ukrainian command. The members of this battalion are all opponents of the regime of Ramzan Kadyrov, the ruthless Chechen leader appointed by Vladimir Putin in 2007. They were deployed on Saturday, October 22nd, around Bakhmut in eastern Ukraine, which has been recording very intense fighting since July.
Ichkeria is the name given to pro-independence Chechnya between 1991 and 2000. Their battalion bears the name of the first pro-independence president, a former Soviet general killed by a Russian missile in 1996. Hundreds of Chechen volunteers of Jokhar Dudayev Battalion are fighting the Russian invasion alongside the Ukrainian army. On October 18th, the Ukrainian parliament recognized the independence of the Chechen Republic of Ichkeria.
AP reported that Russia is trying to recruit Afghan special forces to fight in Ukraine. Moscow wants to attract the elite Afghan soldiers who fought alongside U.S. troops during their 20-year occupation to join a foreign legion. It is offering lucrative salary of £1,500 a month and promises safe haven for the ex-servicemen and their family. Most of the men fled Afghanistan to neighboring Iran following the U.S.'s chaotic withdrawal last year. They cannot return home as they risk death at the hands of the Taliban.
In an investigation by the Associated Press, 3 former Afghan generals have confirmed that Russia will be recruiting the US-trained Afghan Commandos.
The AP reported recruitment is led by the Wagner Group, a shadowy Russian mercenary force, while a former Afghan Special Forces commander who lived in Russia and speaks the language is also helping. U.S. soldiers who fought alongside Afghan Special Forces have warned for months that the Taliban was intent on killing these troops and that they might join the U.S.'s enemies in order to stay alive or out of anger. Afghan General Abdul Rauf Arghandewald said they don't want to go fight, but they have no choice.
Do today learn. Today is Tuesday.
Commercial.
Traveler 是旅行者。
I have to wait for click.
So he or she is at the Columbia Towers Hotel gift store. 所以他在这个饭店的礼品店，然后他要买东西。Okay, so let's take this chance and listen to the.
学习让生活充满乐趣。FUNDAY 英语。
Euronews reported that inflation in the Eurozone is expected to have reached a new record high of 10.7% in October. If confirmed later in November by Eurostat, the bloc's official statistics agency, this would be the first inflation reading crossing the 10% threshold. The increase was fueled by energy prices, which Eurostat estimates were 41.9% higher than in the same month last year. Prices for food, alcohol, and tobacco are meanwhile believed to have risen by 13.1% year-on-year.
The media said Baltic countries remain the most deeply affected, with the annual inflation remaining above the 20% mark. Estonia leads the pack with a 22.4% estimate. According to Eurostat, the price of natural gas for household consumers soared by 154% and 110% in Estonia and Lithuania, respectively, between the first half of 2021 and the first 6 months of this year. France retained its position as the least impacted country, although annual inflation for October is seen at 7.1%.
She was at COP24 in Poland, COP25 in Spain, and last year's COP26 in Glasgow, where she memorably slammed leaders pledged as so much blah blah blah. But Greta Thunberg is not going to COP27. Speaking at the London Literature Festival, where she was promoting her new book, the 90-year-old activist dismissed the upcoming climate summit as an opportunity for people in power to use greenwashing, lying, and cheating.
We are in the beginning of a mass extinction, and all you can talk about is money and fairy tales of eternal economic growth. How dare you!
She said the conferences are not really meant to change the whole system, but instead encourage gradual progress. Thunberg also said, so as it is, the COPs are not really working, unless, of course, we use them as an opportunity to mobilize. The Swedish climate activist has, in recent years, become one of the most famous faces at the UN's annual climate summit. She has been to every COP since the school strikes she started in 2018, when she was 15, catapulted her to the top of the youth activist climate movement.
British entrepreneur Richard Branson has declined an invitation from the Singaporean government to take part in a live television debate on the death penalty. Branson had criticized Singapore's decision in April to execute 33-year-old Nagaintrem Damalingan for drug trafficking. Nagaintrem's case was widely criticized as he was accessed by a medical expert to have an IQ of 69, a level indicative of an intellectual disability. But a Singaporean court agreed that he was not disabled and authorized his execution.
In an open letter posted on his blog last Sunday, Branson said television debates are always at risk of prioritizing personalities over issues and cannot do the complexity of the death penalty any service. It reduces nuanced disclosure to soundbites and turns serious debate into spectacle. He'd also argued that local voices would be of more value than his own. Local activists criticized the TV debate invitation as more of a publicity stunt than a meaningful attempt to engage with the issue.
According to a survey conducted by China Newsweek magazine, nearly 40% of the more than 2,300 respondents said their budget for the online shopping festival were down by 30% from last year, while only 15% said they plan to spend more. According to the survey results released last Saturday, despite 70% of the respondents planning to participate in the shopping frenzy, nearly 70% of consumers have a budget of under 2,000 yuan, or $273.
The annual shopping spree held on November 11th every year in China is the world's largest online shopping festival and seen by many investors as a proxy for consumer spending in the country, as well as an important barometer for economic health. The media reported business sentiment in China remains bleak, with the official non-manufacturing purchasing managers index falling in October for the first time since May, dropping to 48.7 from 50.6 in September.
FUNDAY News will help sharpen your English skills while keeping you informed on current international events. Tune in to other FUNDAY programs to learn more about our world's most important topics in English. Click the link below now to join FUNDAY for free. I'm Wade Lee, your host, and I'll see you next time.